So according to AI, again, yeah, I have to look at AI to comment on their game because they are really extremely good player, and it's really hard for me to follow their ideas and see um, what they're thinking, what can they do better without looking at it. It's just difficult for me to comment without looking at AI. So what AI is saying here is black. This is already good because there's some Aji and black can lead this and uh, started to turn around, making this group solid and started attacking this white stone. So after some variation happens here, white can get back and then pull this out, which is what Shin Jin Seo plays in the game. He plays this immediately without doing that exchange. So according to AI, perhaps doing like millions of calculation after doing some exchange here, attacking this white group, getting some, some solid groups here will help this stone, this group. But it's just hard for human to notice that. As soon as you play this, and it turns out that this is a bit, it's an overplay because white is strong enough by playing moves like this, and black is just weak. So white plays here. So now black plays this move, which is just extremely good move. So now black, the thing about this move is that black is asking white to make a decision. So whether you are blocking this way or this way. And this is just very annoying because if you block this way, black can do this exchange. And then play here. Protect the cut, protect everything, all the potential things white can do. And white has to respond. Because now this will just be the best thing white can do is to make a ko here. But of course, white cannot accept that. So white has to play here, somewhere here, protect the corner. But then you see black protect this cut in sente, and then black can get back. Let's say black plays here. So playing here, of course, strengthens this group and strengthens the pressure toward this group, but also it gives black opportunity to stabilize this group. And if white connects here, preventing black from making use of this aji, then of course this potential threat will be favorable for black, as in the game black plays here. So this cut is very obvious and it's threatening. So this is a very good move. The time that black plays here is also good. So the reason is that in a human game, sometimes you don't know which move you should play. So sometimes it's good to just throw the choice to your opponent. Let your opponent think. So Tu Xiao, I think, did spend a lot of time on this, and he decided to play here. Okay. So now everything from here requires a bunch of calculations. As I said, this is a threat, but Tu Xiao plays here. So this really requires a lot of calculation because what if black cuts? So it turns out if black cuts, white has this move. So let's say black Ataris and plays here. White connects, black cut. So what white can do here is white can connect here. Do not play here because black is just gonna cut, and the ladder just does not work. and black connects, and here white can play this. So if black extend down, this is just you can check, it's just, I think black is just dead here. So black has to block. And then white Ataris. So black cannot connect because otherwise this is just dead. So black has to play here, white takes. And as you can see, if black connects, so this is already a co-fight. And it turns out that black has no good co-threats again, because first of all, white has a bunch of co-threats here. Secondly, black does not have a significantly big co-threats. Let's say black plays here, white is just gonna take this. So the what black gets here is nowhere comparable to this, because now not only this died, but also this dies. So this is not acceptable for black. So getting all the way back, black cannot cut this immediately. So in the game, black plays here. Black connects. So this is again a bit of an overplay. What black should do is black should get out. So black connect. Black just refuses to give up everything. So here, the best move for white. Pause the video if you want to think about it yourself. It's actually my first intuition, and probably a lot of Dan players' intuition is to play here. So this doesn't mean white just win completely. It doesn't mean black just dies. Because otherwise, the game is over, right? But yeah, black has follow-ups. So what black can do here is black can play here. And then white has to protect this cut. And now black can cut. And white plays here, so black has to play here. And now, so the goal for white is actually to sack these 4 stones, because white already get gain outside. So the subtlety here, the thing is, it's good for white to first do this exchange first. So black has to block, and then so this is already exchange favorable for white, because this is this will really reduce a bunch of territory for black in the end game. And another subtlety, so for white, it's not good for white to do this to cover black immediately, because now black can let's say black can reduce the liberty by playing this move. The thing is, white cannot cut now. So if white cut, black can actually play here, and these 2 white stones are dead. So a better move for white here is to do this exchange first. The thing is, now black has to play here. Black cannot do this, because then black is dead. So now after this, and then when white covers black, and then black has to reduce the liberty, you see now when it's the same as when white cut, instead of playing here, black plays here. So of course, this is just extremely good exchange for white. So this subtlety is something you should keep in mind if you in your game. So the time when you do this exchange might affect a lot of things. So now of course, things like this will happen. Black will take this, but white is satisfied, because first of all, white gets everything now, so there's really no Aji here. White gets some influence outside. There's very, very big endgame moves here, and white has a Sente, so white can choose to perhaps started making a stabilize this group, or started this co-fight. So that is the best option for white by playing here. So here Tu Xiaoyu is a bit greedy. So Tu Xiaoyu want to first make some exchange here. So if let's say if black extend and then white plays here, then the black group is dead because of this exchange. But of course, Shin Jin Seo, he is very strong. He sees this, so in the actual game he jumps out. Well, then of course, in response, white plays here, and black blocks. So here, Tu Xiaoyu has another very good opportunity as white. Pause the video if you want to think about this. Again, very hard, very complicated. So in the game, Tu Xiaoyu play here. So a better move for white here is to Atari and then play here. So the only move for black is to cut this stone. So white is gonna Atari. So now if the result is that black cannot play here. So let's say if black connect, which is very natural, black will connect, or white will connect. So black has to deal with this outside group first, and now white can play this move. So all of them are forcing. So black has to play here, white play here, black has to play here, and white plays here. So now, if black extend down, black can play here and then play here. So now black is dead, actually. You can check. Black is just dead. If black plays here, white can do this, and black is dead. If you do this, of course, nothing's gonna change. Black is again dead. There's something black can do here. Pause the video if you want to think about this. Is to play here. But even if black plays this, the result is extremely favorable for white, because now white can play here. So if you block, white can play here and then do this, and probably do this exchange first, and black is again dead. So for black to live, the only thing for black to do is just to cut this. That's the only thing black can do, is to play this J19 first and then cut. And look at this. Now white is just completely winning, because by taking this group, black is sacrificing everything outside. This is not completely safe, and this is just collapsing. So black cannot connect is the result. So black has to play here. So now white takes, black escape, and then white can play here. So after all these exchanges, this is just much stronger and much better compared to in the game when Tu Xiaoyu played this. So you see, now black can play here, and then when white Ataris, so first of all, this exchange will no longer happen. Secondly, white has to play here, and you see this is just, first of all, way better for black in terms of points. Secondly, white is much weaker. So now white plays here, but then black has this very good move, that is to cut. And already it's just hard for white to make useful attack on black. So here, there's also variations like this. Continuing attacking black group, which is agreed by AI. But it's just hard to control, and if white does not get some useful return, black is just reducing all the territories. So that's just not what white can. This is just not what white can be satisfied. So in the game, it's just very reasonable. Tu Xiaoyu he just decided not to keep attacking the black group, and just first of all making this outside influence. Secondly, after this exchange, getting a Sente to stabilize this group, making territories. So this move requires a lot of calculations. So after all this, by sacking this, getting some influence outside, and then returning, playing this move. So this requires calculation. Why is that? Well, for black, a very notable good move, not good, a very notable strategy is to, why can't black play here? Well, if you have some calculation, white can play here, and Atari, and then play here. So now black is dead. So because this is not working. So black cannot cut is the same. So in the game, so that's why white can play this. So in the game, black plays here. So again, because of the complexity of the game, it's hard for players to make the optimal move, optimal decision. And I have to say, even the optimal decision, all the things I explained, differs only by, let's say, 20%, 30%, which is just around 3 points, which is just very hard to decide. So for AI, it's better for white to connect here, and things like this happens. And perhaps white can play here, and this is the best white can do to make this the territory. This move to Xiao play is a bit of an overplay. So as in the game, Shin Jin Seo played this, and then connect. Of course, this is not an option because white can cut, and you see white really satisfied his goal. So that's just not gonna happen. So black connects. But of course, Tu Xiao, the reason Tu Xiao played this is he saw strategies, he saw tactics. So what is it? Is to play here. First, cut this black group, forcing black to connect, and then connecting this stone, making this not alive, but partially alive, because now black has to fight this coal. So that's Tu Xiaoyu's plan. So according to AI, it's a bit of an overplay, but for human play, it's very playable, and actually, I think the win rate is still around 30-70 or 40-60. So it's just playable. So black played this first, do some exchange, creating some potential cold threats, and then this fight begins. So white pulled this out, forcing black to do this co-fight. White cut, and yeah, black has to respond. Otherwise, white can play here, and all of these died. And the gain that black gets, it's just not big enough compared to this. So black respond. White takes back. Black connects. White has to respond. Black takes. Still, this fight is giving white pressure because, let's say, if black take this, not only a lot of points, but also but also it's just very, very solid for black, and then black can just launch extremely stressful attack to this white stone. So in other words, white cannot really lose this fight. So white plays here. So this is of course a cold threat. So black takes, white takes back. Yeah, black is just always facing a problem, that is black really does not have a lot of cold threats. But even this doesn't look big, is okay for black. So of course white just refused to respond and take the stone, and takes everything, and black plays here. So according to AI, the better option, well, in the game, to how you connect, the better option is to just give up this. first of all, making some points here. Sacking this. Secondly, reducing a bunch of Aji, and somewhat help this stone. You'll see what I mean by helping this stone. So this is the better variation according to AI. So in the game, of course, as human players, for me personally too, I will connect this. Why? Because you are not killing me. I can play here and then connect, and there's really no good option for black to just kill white right away. So why would I sack these stones? That's very reasonable move. So here Shin Jin Seo shows how he is really 38-47 elo. He plays the best move here. This move. It's just it's the first move. It has reason. First of all, it attacks this group because it's not completely alive. Secondly, it attacks this stone by making this group stabilized. Thirdly, because there's a burden, because as Tu Xiao immediately plays afterwards, because there's a cold fight here. So stabilizing this group, adding pressure to these two stones, helps the cold fight by bringing up a lot of cold threats. So this move, it's just the best move as soon as she plays it. It also explains why pulling this out is not a good option. It's because when black plays this move, it's just hard for white to win this cold fight and hard for white to handle both group very good. It's also why when black played this move, of course, white's only option is to white's only option is to take the stone. It's also why it's enough. It's playable for white black to find this cold threat, which is just small compared to this. So as in the game, as we explained before, there's a cold here, and white has to find cold threats. So white plays here. Well, because of course this cold threat is still adding a bunch of pressure to black, because black is always counting this as its territory. If white wins this cold fight, white will get a bunch of things in return. And now it's black that has to find where his territory is, because this group is dead. So this is what black gets. So black really has to win this cold fight. So of course black has a lot of pressure, but still black has to respond. White takes, black plays here. White takes, black plays here. Okay. So here, this is also, it turns out this is AI first move. Why is that? Because it's just shocking that this is not a threat to anything. Normally, we would think of cold threats as moves, let's say, as moves like this, right? Because now if you do not respond, I can just take this and get a lot of things in return. But this move doesn't do anything. But why is it the best move, and why did top players play this? It's because the top players for white knows the severe that the fact that these two groups, one of them is gonna in big trouble, and so white is facing a lot of pressure. That's the first thing. The second thing is that black really have so many cold threats whenever these two groups are not settled. So you can imagine, let's say whatever white plays and takes back, black always have moves like this that forcing white to respond, and then black takes the stone back. So black is not only getting territory fighting this cold threat, but also making this group stronger and stronger, and eventually this is gonna die. So Tu Xiaoyu decided, well, why don't I just first strengthen my group instead, preventing you from creating a lot of co-threats and reducing all the potential sente you might gain, and the thing you might gain by attacking me. Why wouldn't I do that? It turns out it's correct. And Shin Jin Seo here made a mistake. What he did is probably 99.9% of people will do, is he just make this clean by just taking this stone. So now this is just dead, because now if you take, I can play here, and it's just dead. But he made a mistake. Why is that? Because he does not. So of course he thinks he's winning here. So he just want to make things clean, no achi. But it turns out when Tu Xiaoyu play here, he probably realizes that it's not that winnable as he thought. So by playing here, white now is, this group is, it's not completely alive, but it's just safe. It's just partially safe. And by playing this, again, it's hard for black to handle this. Let's say if black plays here, then of course white just get out easily. If black plays here, again, white has moves like this. Very annoying, very hard for black to really kill this group. So what Shin Jin Seo has to do is he has to maintain the balance here by playing moves like this. He has to maintain the tension, and again started attacking the white group. He has to maintain tension and fight this. But of course it's complicated because what's black's next cold threat? It needs calculation. Well, is this a cold threat, or is it, you know, this is just not very good. But the thing is, well, it's hard for black to find the next opportunity to take the stone and make everything clean. Yeah, it's just hard, and 99% people will not just hold this tension, but take the stone, because to hold the tension, it's implying that you think you're not winning. But for Shin Shu, and he thinks, and probably a lot of people thinks, black is just winning because black has more territory if you count on the board. Because it's hard to calculate what territories that white has here, but it turns out white can reduce more territory than black imagines. So it turns out black is just not winning here. But Shin Jin Seo thinks he's winning, and he just does not fully sees how this could be a trouble for him. So in the game, he takes the stone, and Tu Xiaoyu played this, and played this, and then after some exchange, Shinichi gets the corner, but Tu Xiaoyu sees to make both group alive. And yeah, Shinichi has to prevent white from connecting two groups that easily, so he blocks. So after some exchange, Tu Xiaoyu play here, and Shinichi now he realizes that he is not winning that easily, that clearly. So he now is very aggressive. He played this move. And after this exchange, Tu Xiaoyu made a mistake. But this mistake is completely reasonable. For AI, the best move is to cut. Why is that? So black face trouble here, connecting issues. So this is a sente for black. White has to live, and black still have to play here. So now white can extend and perhaps making this all white's territory. So you might be thinking, well, then why wouldn't Tu Xiaoyu choose this variation? Well, as I said, it's very reasonable for Tu Xiaoyu to not choose this variation because black can play here, and then this will become a co-fight. So first of all, not only white is not entirely clear that white can connect back, but also it gives black opportunity to start this co-fight when, you know, there's no co-threats. There's no co here. So according to AI, white can win this co-fight because white has a bunch of co-threats here and black has no co-threats. No, like not enough co-threats. But for human players, especially at this moment, although it's not a blitz game, both players are running into time issues, and it's just hard for them to make such a risky decision. So it's just completely reasonable that in the game, to how you play this. So black plays this after some exchange. To how you take this stone, making sure that this group is connecting to this group, and something like this happens. So it's completely reasonable decision, but as you can see, compared to the previous variation, white is getting much less territory, which means actually black is much better in terms of win rate. So here, so previously, because you made this mistake, white is slightly winning, and after this, um, I think it's getting back to 50-50. So now black plays this very big endgame, and after some exchange, black plays here. So here to tell you made another mistake against. So I think Dui still has a slight advantage. It probably has like 60%, but after this it really becomes 50-50. So the correct move for white is to take this stone to hold the tension again. AI is thinking white can hold this tension because white can win the co-fight. But for Tu Xiaoyu, it's hard. Also, first of all, white cannot connect because black can place whatever you do. Let's say white connect. Black can connect. White has to cut this to take all this group. But then black can play here and all of them are dead. So that's not an option for white. So apart from this, to tell you in actual gameplays here. But then black take the stone in Sente. So this exchange is of course favorable for black, and black just get advantage in the end game. So now it's really 50-50 now, and it's probably a bit better for black even. Okay, so now after this, black get this very huge Sente, huge end game move. It's a Gote here. And to show you make this last move that make him lose the game. Yeah, I'm telling you to tell you eventually lose the game. I think he loses by a stone or something like that. Yeah, pause the video if you want to think about this. What is white's best move here? If white plays that out, it's still hard to say who wins. So it turns out that white's best move here is to play this. Why is that? First of all, it's Sente. Because let's say if black plays here, white can play here. And then play this. So there's a cut and there's a cut. And black cannot handle both. Let's say black plays here. This is just dead. So black is gonna be in big trouble if black does not respond here. So black has to respond when white plays here. Like something like this will happen. And then white can play this. So the thing is, white has to do this exchange, making all of this, making black having no territory, and then going back. So this is the right move, but because of time issue, Tu Xiaoyu did not see this, so he played this, which is a Gote, and then Shin Jin Seo immediately saw this. He played this, and Tu Xiaoyu they did some exchange like this. So now because white connect, so you see black has just have more points from nowhere. So now of course black is just winning because in the previous variation black has no points here. Okay. So yeah, in the game, things like this happen, and black plays this. This is also a big move. So of course, one big move is this. One big move is that. but black can only get one because white has strategy like this. So black has to cut, and then white can go from underneath. So both very good big endgame move. So black chooses to play here, which is correct, and white then get the other big move here. And then yeah, the last interesting thing about this game is here. So clearly, if you ignore everything outside, just look at this endgame move. Of course, this is better for black because now these two are not really points for white. Apart from in the game, as soon as you play this, when white get play here, white get additionally 2 points for free. So black loses 2 points here. So why would Shinichi do that? Is the question. Well, Shinichi is thinking that he can get a sente by doing this. Apart from this, he gets a gote, the sente for 2 points. Is it worth it? So AI tells you it's not worth it. But Shinichi thinks it's cleaner, and he's correct. So even if he loses 2 points here by getting a sente, he's still winning, and he's just completely correct about it. He wants to get a sente and make everything settled. So he wants to make things clean by getting a sente and just get all those moves clear. And he still wins by 1 stone. So that's the trade-off. He just make things clear by getting a sente because he after counting. So at this time, it's not hard for pro players, especially top players, to count because everything is settled down. So Shinichi clearly knows even if he lose 2 points, he's gonna win. But he's gonna be winning 100% if he can get a sente. So that's why he chose this. So that's why sometimes you see in the endgame, well, there's a seemingly just good move that you think that high end players could, of course, play out, but they choose to play like a question mark worse move. Well, it's actually not a worse move. Well, it's a worse move according to AI, but for human players, he gets a sente and he makes everything clean and he can just win. So yeah, that's the last thing. It's interesting, and yeah, and nothing further happens in the game, and Shinichi just wins by a stone. Yeah, that's all about this game. Thank you for watching.